Without music, I don't know how I would imagine a world without music for me.
When you dance from the heart, you could touch any soul. You could touch anybody.
It's been said, if you wish to make an impact for 1 year, plant corn. To make an impact for a generation, plant a tree. But if you wish to make an impact for an eternity, educate a child.
Well, I've been in banking for 27 years. I'm the lead regional president for New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. I work for Wells Fargo and have been with Wells Fargo and its predecessor companies for the last 27 years. Started as a teller fresh out of college, where I got my degree in music, applied voice. I wanted to be the next Leatine Price, but while I was waiting to be discovered, I got a job at the bank. As I've gotten older throughout my life, you know, that means of expression, that creativity, it finds its way out. You know, sometimes it finds its way out on a conference call at work, which can get pretty interesting for people not necessarily used to bankers, you know, singing on conference calls. It's always been a big part of my life, but it turned out that it didn't need to be what I do for a living. It is the art educators who have touched my life, and you know, from Mrs. P in 7th grade to Mr. Howard in high school, to Elizabeth Finney, my voice teacher throughout college. And it's not because they taught me music theory, it's because they helped me find who I was. And they tapped into something. In the case of Mrs. P, she tapped into something I didn't even know was there. And when I think about why I am a regional president, why I've been in banking for 27 years, it's because they helped me find you know, that authentic Michelle, and helped me you know, not be afraid to be who I am. Being able to express yourself, being willing to share something that you've created, whether it's with your voice or it's with your pen or it's with your fingers, it gives you a confidence that frankly we're looking for in banking and we're looking for in the corporate world. That ability to be authentically you is sort of the foundation of what makes great leaders great.
I started playing the piano when I was 2 because I had a piano in my house, and they used to give me some toys, and I didn't play with the toys. I went straight to the piano. When I was 3 years old, I played on national TV in Chile with a chamber orchestra. When I was 13 years old, I came to this country and I applied to a few schools. I didn't get accepted to the school that I intended to go. So I was planning to go back to Chile. And one of the teachers there heard me play while I was practicing. And she said, you know what, let me take you to the Newark School of Arts. And over there, the principal, who was Mr. Chaiman, he said, no, you're not going back to Chile. Thanks to the Corolla scholarship that the NJPAC provided me, I had the chance to stay here and continue my studies. My ex-girlfriend was a singer, so I started writing a lot of songs for her. And I found out that I really liked writing songs. On September 22nd, I had the highlights premiere of the opera La Sargento de la Concepción, which is an opera based on a real story that happened in Chile in 1882. Well, let me start from the beginning. The first act takes place in a city where someone is selling newspapers. The second act is mostly about the woman doesn't want to let her husband go by. The third act takes place at the same moment when she has a baby. Her husband goes and the last soldier alive, going against 2,000 people and saying, "I will live with glory or I will die with honor." You don't have to be a professional musician to find the benefits of the arts and music. The classical training gives you the discipline, and with the discipline you can take that to anything you want to do in your life. So that's why it's very important to have this training, the arts training, to as many people as possible. Even if the people that study music want to become lawyers or doctors or anything else, they're going to have the discipline that they learned from the arts to become better lawyers, better doctors. NJPAC's arts education program has had a very important impact in my life.
I began taking lessons when I was about 6, and that went on from then on until college. I actually took lessons at college as well. And Dad played the violin, he called it the fiddle, and my sister plays the fiddle, violin, and after dinner, Dad would say, "I challenge you to a sonata," and we'd go play music. My career has been taken up with surgery. There was no such thing as cardiac surgery when I started, but in '57, heart-lung surgery began, and became a heart surgeon. I don't know how music affects medicine, but it's almost a cliche that music and medicine seem to go together. To me, music is a way of relaxing. You know, days, particularly in heart surgery, days are pretty harrowing. Sometimes I would do 2 or 3 cases in a day. I'd be on my feet all day long. And playing the piano was a relaxation. I don't think the discipline is very much involved. First of all, I'm very undisciplined about the piano. I don't practice very much. I play, but don't practice. I never perfect anything. The fact that I can't play it well doesn't bother me very much, because if people are listening, it does. But I hear what's going in, but not what's coming out. I know what it sounds like when it's good, and that's what it feels like when I'm putting it in. It doesn't come out that way. It's a great pleasure anyhow, just to hear the music. It's amazing stuff. It's an integral part of my life. It's very important to me. I would miss it badly if we didn't have it. I'm, of course, very enthusiastic about arts education. The PAC is particularly dramatic because it does other things besides instruments and voice. It does dance and theater, which have been marvelous. I think that a society without that is sick. You have to have it. I can't imagine life without it. And there isn't life without it. But if we don't develop it here, I mean, if you ignore it, you do a great deal of harm. So I like to see us doing what we're doing.
The arts and dance has impacted my life tremendously. It's changed my course of life. When I was 2, it was on my birthday, I caught my first seizure, and I was hospitalized. So I was in this coma for this whole time, and as soon as they were gonna take it upon themselves to pull the plug, I woke up. I was in special ed all my life, because every time I caught a seizure, I would forget everything. One time I forgot how to walk. By this time, I was 10, 11 years old. I forgot how to walk. I had to retrain myself. I forgot my ABCs. Then I enrolled into arts high school and as a dance major, and I wasn't too sure because I figured out that we were going to have to do ballet. And in my neighborhood, that's not very manly. Then that's when Ronnie Carney, my sophomore year, I was very intimidated by him because he has such a strong character. And then he actually took me under his wing in the sense that he started really devoting a lot of his time into my training. I decided to audition for Juilliard so I was like, hey, let me give it a shot. And I went for it. Come to find out that I got in on a full ride, sort of say, and with the blessing of having the Star Ledger Scholarship and my peers in my corner, and Carney, he will always be around my life, and my mother as well. I want to be the reason that she doesn't suffer anymore. So in order for us to have a brighter future, I needed to become something of myself. As of now, it looks pretty good. As I was teaching this summer at NJPAC, I was really nervous. I was somewhat nervous because this was a very big role that was in my hands. Well, NJPAC has a very, very big impact upon people. You know, for me, for instance, NJPAC has changed my life. It was that backbone that I needed, that support. And when I dance on stage, it's not about technique or anything like that. I work on my technique in class. When I'm on stage, I try to change people's lives emotionally and have an impact upon them. And at the end of the day, I continue saying to myself that it's not about the training. It's about your voice. It's about having that communication with your audience, you know.